रोशनी का कारवां।
This podcast is brought to you by Barrier Break Solutions Private Limited and Score Foundation.
ये है रोशनी, रोशनी, रोशनी का कारवां, रोशनी। Eyeway, ये है रोशनी का कारवां।
Hi, my name is George Abraham, and welcome to this edition of Eyeway Conversations. My guest today is Rahul Gupta, a wholesale banker with one of the leading private sector banks in the country. He is considered by people in the industry as one of the leading transformation leaders. Welcome, Rahul, to the show.
Thank you, George. Thanks for having me here.
Rahul, what exactly is a wholesale banker?
Well, we bankers are glamorous. We try to make things sound glamorous, but I think in the most simplest way, I'm somebody who engages with corporates in different capacities, starting from small and mid enterprises to the global corporates, to the large financial sponsors, the large private equities, and global DFIs. So anything and everything that leaves aside the retail, which is you and I, is wholesale. And that's what I represent.
You had also mentioned that people in the industry considered you as one of the leading persons as far as transformation leadership is concerned. Could you explain?
Yes. So I think it just makes me feel humble to share that over the last 15 years of my career, I've had opportunities of building and scaling up several new businesses, taking them up from scratch. I've been able to incubate and think through new ideas. And thanks to the organization, which gave me a platform to perform. And yeah, I think it's their love that they call me a transformation leader in this space.
You worked both in India and in the UK. So could you share with us what was the difference in experience?
India is my motherland. I love the country, but there's of course enough, to talk about England. It is one of the most accessible places in the world. I could personally freely move around the streets with my son without really worrying about I may slip, I may fall. So that's a luxury that I miss being back in India. Professionally, it's a country which has evolved. People have a good balance between personal and professional life. I think it's got a lot to do with the social infrastructure and social security that people have there. So people are not really running behind the regular needs of the day, which in India, I think we are trying to be up there. But yes, we have got our priorities different. So empathy is a natural emotion that comes out in the West. I remember being often addressed as a VIP, if boarding a tube and moving from one place to another. People don't see you differently. They just see you as somebody who perhaps need a bit of an additional support. But I think that I don't want to take away the love and affection that we get in our country. It's a different ecosystem. Both have its own charm. But yes, I'm miss England.
So professionally, did you see any difference between the two?
From an opportunity point of view, I think it's the same. In fact, if you think of it, I've been working with an Indian organization for the last 15 years. I call this a place of limitless opportunities. And it's the same organization which imbibed all its faith in me and sent me to UK to build and scale up another business. So I think from an opportunity point of view, we are no different. But when it comes to work-life culture, there people would want to log off at 5 or 6. You'll see people going back in the tube, planning their football sessions or cricket sessions with their kids. Be on the desk at 8. And people are definitely far more professional. And that's why they're able to appreciate both their personal and professional lives. They know how to maintain that business.
Rahul, you are visually impaired. Can you talk us through what your challenges are?
Yes, George. So incidentally, I'm not just visually impaired, but I'm also partially hearing impaired. So from a vision point of view, I don't have vision in my right eye since birth. My left eye, I was born with a situation called coloboma. By the age I was 11, my vision levels dropped for somewhat 30 to 35% to almost 5%. Doctors did a great job. They could patch the vision back to levels of around 20%. I use 3 pair of glasses, one for my regular vision, one when I work on the computers, third when I have to read very, very fine prints. And these numbers range from +6 from a regular vision to +11 to 12 for a computer vision to all the way to +24, which is like a huge magnifier in your hand. My disability levels will be somewhat around 85%.
When you joined the bank, tell me something about your early days.
Two of the biggest investment banks of that time, despite me clearing some 11 or 12 interviews, they dumped me because they were not really clear as to how a severely sighted could work. It actually takes just one person who brings in the change, and at that time, one of our senior HR colleagues came on campus along with a senior bank official who continues to be in the bank today as well, and they asked me, "What will it take you to work?" And I told them, "It'll take me a big screen and a scanner." And they said, "There you go." And to share with you, George, I could not read fine prints. Everything had to be enlarged for me. In one of the branch trainings, I picked up this check. And I'm like, gosh, if I got to look at these 20s and hundreds of these checks every minute, I can't be scanning them all the way. I went back to AIMS. I was then referred to a low vision aids department. I came across a fantastic doctor there who then gave me these cute looking 500 rupee pair glass, which changed my life. But as I said, it takes that one person, one manager, one colleague, one friend, one partner who keeps making the change. And I was fortunate not to have one, but many of those in my life. And I think it was on my responsibility to deliver. And, as one said, with authority comes responsibility, and with responsibility comes accountability. I think I was trying to deliver as a responsible person and was accountable. I think it rest is history. I've had a successful run in the bank.
If you know of anyone with vision impairment who needs guidance on living life with blindness, please share the Eyeway National Toll-Free Helpline number 1800-5320-469. The number is 1800-5320-469.
How did you manage your education, and what exactly did you study, and where did you study?
As a child, I think I was always very intrigued by science. I'm somebody who likes to go deep into subjects. So I wanted to be a scientist or robotics engineer. But as luck had it, I think it was not medically feasible. I chose to get into commerce, and that steered me towards economics. It's a phenomenal subject. It's everything that happens around us every day. I was fortunate to be a part of St. Stephen's College. I was there between 2001 to 2004. I then went to Delhi School of Economics, where I pursued my master. Because of different medical conditions, I did not really attend school between an age of 8 to 16, which were really the foundation years. My mother used to take a lot of notes for me from my colleagues who really supported me there. The senior leadership at the school, my principal, my headmistress, they were always willing to come and support. So my teachers had that belief, my friends had that belief, my parents had that belief. When I went to Stephens, I got a little more aware of my rights as a student. For example, I could ask for enlarged question papers. I could ask for some extra time to take my exam. People often used to wonder, why don't I take somebody who could write for me? And it used to be a little difficult for me to explain, hey, 18 years of my life, I've been writing my papers. I don't know, I still wonder how my examiners used to read my paper, because I myself could not read once I'd written the paper. It was a task. So I never got an opportunity to revise my paper. But I think, as they say, each of these challenges make you only strong for future. And there's always a plan. So we just need to be smiling and take these challenges as opportunity.
When you were speaking about your time in England, you mentioned your son. So tell me a little about when and how did you get married? How did you meet your wife? And a little bit about your family life.
So yeah, I met my angel in my college days. We were, and it's definitely a story for a later date, but we had a phenomenal love story. We had all the Bollywood masalas that one could think of in it. But there's this one lady who had belief in me, who stood against all adversities with me, decided to be my partner, support me for all my future endeavors. Her name is Seema. We got married in 2009. We were blessed with a son back in 2013. A very cute boy. His name is Smayan. We are a close-knit family. My grandparents had a key role to play in my life. My dad, my mom, they've been the key drivers who always ensured that I get the best to work with. And then my uncles, my aunts, my cousins, each one of them. I think, as they say, if I start counting, it might just take days to put out a list of gratitude. And my wife, just to share, is also an economist. As I said, we met in our post-graduation. She's a development economist, so very sensitive, work towards social goals.
Yeah, they always say that having a good, loving, considerate home and a positive thinking home, an optimistic thinking home, always gives children a great start, especially when the child is got a disability. You also, when we were conversing the other day, mentioned that you're into fitness. So tell me about it.
My childhood had a lot of medical complications, so I grew up big in size. I became 100, almost 100 plus. So just to give you context, in my height, I'm 5'9". And at an age of 16, I had issues of hypertension. And one of my brother-in-laws, who is a very, very senior cardiologist, he walked up to me and said, "Hey, I refuse to give you any medication. I want you to take health seriously." And yeah, I started working out. I got into shape. I got fit. I suddenly, from a double or a triple XL, my mom had to find clothes for me in the kids section. So yeah, but as I got married, I again started taking health for granted. But then when I had my son, I realized, hey, it doesn't work. I got to be a responsible father. I got to be a responsible husband and a responsible professional. I need to, if I don't take care of my health, how do I take care of all these people and my business?
You were also mentioning that alongside the treadmill, there are other things that you do to actually kind of make your workout regime complete. Would you like to share some of that?
As they say, workout is only a 30% part of it. 70% is food. So I love my food. I'm a Delhiite. I love my chana bhaturas. I love all the stuff that's unhealthy. But what I'm now aware is the portions, and to balance it out, you can't really be doing treadmills every day. It does impact your knee, and there's a way in which you need to do it. So I blend it very well with these online classes. You today have a lot of these fitness apps. I love one which has recently been acquired by a big Indian conglomerate. So I take fitness sessions there 5 times in a day. Typically, these sessions are 40 to 45 minutes. And of course, prior to COVID, I used to go to the gym, do my weightliftings. But it's different fun to use your own body as a weight. And there is so much to do with your own self when on path of health and nutrition.
So you talked about 3 types of glasses. Is there any other kind of technology you use?
I use my tablet and there's a keyboard. So we also use a lot of jugaad, as we famously call it in India. So what we do to make these fonts readable, what my wife did, she took a whitener and she colored these keys with a whitener to make it bold. Now, that gives me an ability to read far and better. I use my tablets to zoom in, zoom out. I have this small, tiny keyboard which sits on my phone. Unfortunately, I'm stuck in time. The company who used to manufacture this small case doesn't do it anymore. Then I have my Gandhian glasses. I use a lot of these applications today. So I strongly encourage a lot of people who are listening to this, please reach out. There's enough and more happening in the world of technology. To sum it all, I'm a big user of technology, and hopefully I'll be able to upgrade my smartphone soon.
So Rahul, what motivates you?
Interesting. I love to win, George. I want to leave a positive impact to all my friends. I really I'm somebody who wants to leave a legacy of positivity, a legacy of courage, a legacy of strength. I want to leave a message behind that, if I can do it, you can do it. And think of it, it's not limited to people with disabilities. The message goes across. If a disabled person could do this, how much more an able person can? And if each one starts to deliver more, imagine the beautiful and the wonderful world. So it's the fire to contribute positively to the world we live in that motivates me to perform every day. I live to make a difference.
To support our work with the blind and visually impaired, you can visit the donate page on our website www.scorefoundation.org.in. Please note www.scorefoundation.org.in.
Just before I sign off, two things. I want to put out a big appeal to a lot of these big technology firms. Please listen to us a little more. We know you are committed through your accessibility teams. I'm sure you've got more people working there. I know you've got a lot of great solutions for people with full disabilities, but there is a thin layer which sits in between, which is partial impairment. Maybe people like me and others could contribute and give you a little more insights. Give us an opportunity. We'd love to talk to you. I would also like to leave a message. I work with a couple of organizations, NGOs. One of them works towards supporting people with disabilities and get job, called Sarthak. I write my blogs. I encourage people. I'm trying to share some lovely stories there. Just trying to spread light of positivity. So please enjoy, take care, and thank you, George, once again.
Thank you, Rahul, and all the best.
Eyeway, ये है रोशनी का कारवां.
This podcast was brought to you by Barrier Break Solutions Private Limited and Score Foundation.
ये है रोशनी का